And what is up, Buckeye Nation? Corey Thompson here with Chris, the Wild Man Wild. How you doing, Chris?
Awesome, man. Awesome. It is the week we all look forward to, the week that we've been looking forward to for 4 years, 4 long stinking years. We've been looking forward to this week, and I just got to say, it is 8 o'clock on a crisp Ohio evening, and that state up north and their team still sucks.
That's right. For the duration of this week, we're going to try to refrain from saying that team's name as it is a custom with Hate Week. It is Hate Week. God bless it for being here. If hate were ever wrong, I don't want to be right because this week is all about hating that team up north without question. We are all united as Buckeye Nation in our hatred. No matter what our little quibbles are about the coaching staff, about the players, about whatever, we all hate that team up north.
And it's not just us, Corey. It's not.
No, it's
I
not.
think after the stunt they've pulled the last 3 years, the entire country outside of that cesspool called Ann Arbor despises this team.
I know it's funny. We've talked with Kennedy from Always Irish, and he hates that team as much as we do.
Oh, DK was with us on the last game watch party. He
Yeah.
despises that team.
It's funny because they always say that everybody hates Ohio State. And I'm like, I'm not so sure about that one, man. I think it's you guys that everybody hates.
Yeah, yeah, but it's them against the world, Corey. It's them against the world. Didn't you
It's
know that?
them against the world, but they're also America's team. I don't understand
Yeah,
how that works. But hey, Mean Green, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, they're a walking hypocritical. I don't know how they even function intelligently with what they're.
well, they don't function intelligently.
That's
Just
true.
listen to their media. That's just proof of it right there.
Yes, you got to listen to Scam Web, and the only one that I like in their media is Yoder because I think he's actually funny. But
It- and there's some things that have been coming out about Yoder here the last couple days. I don't know how much it's
I
true.
haven't seen any, but wow, I've been missing that. Wow.
There's rumors that I'm not gonna speak on because I don't have any definitive evidence that any of it's true. It could just be trash talk on the web. You know that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Especially with a guy like him, he gets in it with everybody. So,
some pretty nasty allegations.
ooh, I'm about to ask Johnny about that. Johnny knows Yoder pretty well. Anyways, it is Hay Week. And we are here to give you your therapy to start the week off with. Crawl up on the couch, let everybody know what you're thinking, let it all out. You are in a safe space. Will not be judged here, especially if you're an Ohio State fan. If you're a fan of that team up north, you will be judged harshly. Just fair warning. So
And ask Indiana, we will run the score up on you, just so you know. It's gonna
you
happen.
know,
I'm
it's
feeling it.
funny. I love that because what's funny is that we were judging from Indiana, right? I think we're having evidence now based on Eric's video doing so freaking well, 5,000 hits, and I
Yeah.
had a tweet go viral for me because I never have huge tweets, and this was for some over 4,000 likes, and it was responding to a writer who was upset about Will Howard doing the SIG thing and the Google Me thing, and
I
we all
love it.
oh yeah, we all thought it was hilarious. It's trolling them. But anyway, I said, your coach talks crap all year and then gets buried by the first good team he's played. Then you cry because a player responds. You're soft. And I had 4,000 people like that. And then you go back to Eric's video getting 5,000 hits on it. I think people were kind of getting sick of hearing about Signetti.
Yeah, I think that here's the thing. They were, let's call it what it is. I think in a lot of circles they were America's darlings.
Hmm.
I mean, no, it was a great story. Who didn't love the story? Eric said it. Group of 5 all-star team coming up against the big dogs. Can they play? Can they play at this level? You know what? Yeah, they proved they can play at this level against most competition,
Hmm.
but they're not elite yet.
Oh, not even in
And
the
and,
ballpark.
and for them to be out there running their mouths, saying how great they were, saying how much Ryan Day sucks, saying how much Ohio State sucks,
Hmm.
that's a slap in the face to every player on that program. Uh, you know, Travion being the good person that he is,
Hmm.
took that slide. I also tend to think a little bit of that was he takes the slide knowing he can run a little more time off the clock.
That's what that was. He was trying to run clock.
And that's just a smart football play.
Can't knock him for that. You can't knock him for making a smart football play, yeah.
I love, I love Ryan Day going in and saying, you know what? You could have let this go. You didn't have to go down there after scoring a touchdown and try a 2-point conversion and then an onside kick. You want to try to slap us in the face? Let me show you what a slap in the face is. We're not going to slap you in the face. We're going to kick you in the groin. We're going to run it down your throat, and we're going to end up scoring again and making this game look even worse for you.
And the funny part is I see, that team up north, the fans suggesting that Ryan Day's softer because he did it in the sense that he lined up for what it looked like a kneel down and still punched it in. I think that's a funnier troll, in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you know, I love how, and I haven't heard who all has spoken on this, but I love how that team up north wants to turn this into a negative thing. Indiana wants to turn it into a thing. Hell, Corey, some of Ohio State's own fans want to make
Yeah.
this a negative thing. This was not the good thing to do. We have all these the kids on the team who are good Christians. This was not the good Christian thing to do. The hell with that! It's a football game. This is a competition, and you
Mhm.
know what? Those same people would have been crying had we go into the Big Ten championship game and God forbid we lose to Oregon.
Mhm.
And that little bit of extra cushion in that top 5 game, that could be the difference between a number 5 seed or a 6 seed and a home game
Mhm.
versus a number 9 seed and going to play an SEC team on the road.
Yeah, and not to mention, I just think, what does it do for the team, Chris? I mean, like Ryan Day's saying, we're going to have some fun. And instead of, how the team takes on the coach's demeanor, now they have this demeanor of, we're going to punch you in the mouth. We're going to put it on you. We don't care. We don't care about being the nice guys all the time. And Ryan Day has been the nice guy throughout his entire career where, hey, we're up by 12 in the fourth. Let's just slow it down. No, keep putting it on them. Stop it. Tell your team they're a bunch of mad dogs that want to just bark and bite on everybody. No, we don't do that. I've always
Yeah,
disliked that about Ryan Day, but I love what he did against Indiana.
yeah, absolutely. It's great to be a nice guy off the field.
Off the field, yes.
I commend everything that this team does off the field, the
Hmm.
character of these kids and this coaching staff off the field, everything Ryan Day does to help not only his players, but to help, push the narrative of positive mental health. I love all these things these guys do. But when I have a coach and I have players on the field representing my team that I support, that
Hmm.
I go crazy for every Saturday, man, I want that guy to be a stone cold killer on the field. I want him to look you in the eye, give you the finger, and then drop you. And that is what we saw from Ryan Day Saturday. I loved it. After that first drive that Indiana did so well, it was over. It was all Buckeyes from that point.
Yeah,
And
I'm going to go back to Jackson Carman. I know he's not Ohio's favorite, but what he said, I loved it because they were talking about like, hey, can we ever allow girls in football, this and that? And he says, I don't care who you line up again next to me. I'm going to knock them flat on their butt. I'm like, see,
yeah,
that's the attitude you got to have. You're going to play the game. That's what's got to be.
yeah. I just think that Indiana learned that they're a good football team.
They are.
I think that Cignetti's going to have a good future at Indiana. I think that this is a team that's going to be competitive for many years to come. But just understand, before you call out the fury, you better be ready for it.
And don't play the victim card when it happens to
No,
you. Don't be mean to me, please. I don't like it. It's not gonna make me feel good. I mean, don't do that. This is big
no.
boy football. You welcome to elite big boy football. You got beat down by a better team. It happens. We've had it happen to us. You don't
Yep.
cry about it. You try to go get better. And I know Signetti, look, I'm not gonna knock him. He's a good coach. I know right now he's like, let's go get better. We got to go get better.
Yeah. And
So
to
I'm
his
not,
credit, Corey, all the people that are crying about this, he's not one of them.
no, he's not. He never cried about it. And I'll respect him for that. You
Yes,
know.
absolutely.
He knows his football. By the way, for whatever reason we get in a situation where Indiana can do it to us, I'm not going to complain that Indiana does it. I'm going to complain because our defense isn't good enough to stop it. That's how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah. And, I saw somebody post on Eric's post or his video the other day. You know, it's not Chip Kelly and Ryan Day's job to stop the offense from scoring.
Nope.
That's not their job. Their job is to put as many points up on that board as possible. That's Chip's job. Put up as many points as possible. Noel's job, keep your opponents from putting up as few points as possible. Ryan Day's job is make sure the other two are doing their job.
Hmm.
I think that we saw really a tremendous example of that on Saturday, and it's just got me looking forward to this coming Saturday.
Yeah, and that's a good transition. Speaking of this coming Saturday, Chris, give me your overall how are you feeling going into this game, knowing we've lost three in a row and they dodged us the other one?
I'm still more angry about the Dodge. No, I can't say that. I really can't. I'd like to say I'm more angry about the Dodge. I've been angry about that Dodge for 4 years. I feel like a big time payback is owed at this point. Um, and I think it's coming. But I hate this team. I hate everything they stand for. Things like dodging us, things like disgracing the game of football by
Hmm.
cheating.
Yeah.
And they didn't just cheat us. They cheated the entire Big Ten Conference. They cheated all of college football. They cheated the sport. And more than anything, Eric, I'm sorry, Corey, I think that I was just looking at a post from Eric. I think that they cheated the kids in that program because I look at this team and the talent it had, that team and the talent that it had last season. I don't think they needed to cheat.
I agree. They
I
were
think
good. They
they
were
had
really
the
good.
talent to at least be very competitive, if not do what they accomplished. But
Hmm.
now every one of those kids, just like that championship, has a little asterisk beside their name. And
Because
then
you
you
don't know
see
what
them move on
impact
to
they had.
right, and you see them move on to the NFL, and we're not seeing a great deal of success out of these guys. I feel like just it, they have punishment coming, and I hope that Ryan Day dishes out more punishment than the NCAA could ever hope to. I
I like
hope he
that.
goes out there and he just says, guys, I want you to think, I want him to look right at JT. I want him to look right at Jack Sawyer, and I want him to say, think about what this guy has cost you over the last 3 seasons, what this team has cost you over the last 3 seasons. You know, you guys should have accomplished more than you did.
Hmm.
They took it away from you by cheating. I want you to get your vengeance on them. I want you to hold nothing back. Now, that doesn't mean I want them to go out and try to hurt somebody. It doesn't mean I want them to go out and play dirty. We don't want to sink to that level,
Of course
but I
not.
want them to give everything they've got to absolutely knock the heads off of these guys
Hmm.
and just take this team to the woodshed, old school style. Run the ball down their throat, pass the ball all over them, and run that scoreboard up. And you know what? I saw somebody post in the chat earlier. I think I saw somebody post 52-7. You know what? That wouldn't break my heart one bit. I would love nothing more than seeing this team just absolutely destroy Michigan. Oh, I said the word.
Oh
I
man, they.
said the word. But my anger took me to saying the word because let me tell you, I despise this team, the university, the fan base, the media that covers them. I despise everything about that god awful cesspool of a state to the north.
So how do you really feel? I'm picking up mixed signals here.
I just I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I want blood.
You just said you didn't
I
want to hurt
I,
anybody. Just kidding. Okay, I'm being a jerk, but uh,
I want blood. I want to see this team left totally demoralized and broken on the field. And I want to see the proper order in the Big Ten reestablished. And it starts by destroying that team up north. And then going on to pluck the Ducks and getting
Exactly.
order reestablished where it belongs.
I agree, and only Ryan Day can do that right now. Right now, he hasn't given us a lot of faith, but I think our faith has started to grow over the season because, like, hey, you know what? Maybe he can pull it off. Uh, I'm I'm very confident we're gonna get what we want this Saturday. I'm very, very confident. And I think it starts with something Eric brought up yesterday in the Sunday Roundtable, is that Ryan Day has embraced Jim Tressel at Ohio State, which there's two layers to that. A, obviously Tressel he churned the rivalry around. He's
Yes.
and he's a deity at Ohio State, as he should be. And he's a senator. We love him, and he's a legend. And I'm so glad we got him back around the program.
That
Um,
that is Eric's bromance. You know that, right?
oh yeah, yeah.
Eric has a
Eric's,
serious crush on Jim Tressel,
you know what? When you grew up in the
and you
'90s,
can't
and
blame him.
yeah,
You know,
when you watch so many teams get defeated by an average almost an average team up north, Cooper just killed it for us, and then Tressel said, "Nah, I got this, guys. And he backed it up. You're gonna be proud of our guys, in however many days it was in Ann Arbor, and he backed it up, even though it was a weak team and a bad year. But that being said, I feel like embracing Tressel, but it's also the second layer to this, and this is very important. Ryan Day admitting what I'm doing is not working. I have to learn from the guys who have
yeah,
done it. I can appreciate that in a leader saying, "Look, I have failed." He's not saying, "Well, they were cheating. That's not me. They were cheating." I have failed. Let me talk to the guys who have done it and see what we can do different. And I think we're going to experience that on Saturday. Chris, what do you think?
that showed tremendous growth on the part of Ryan Day. Um, as critical as I've been of him, I'm going to say since the Oregon loss, he has really, I believe, started to grow into the coach that we think he can be.
Hmm.
Um, and I absolutely agree 100% with you. You know, the old adage is true knowledge comes in knowing that you know nothing.
Hmm.
Well, Ryan Day realized he knew nothing about beating this team up north. He thought he knew something after the first year, but he really didn't know.
Hmm.
Urban's guys that he had at the time knew.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
He
good
didn't
point.
necessarily know. Now he goes and he talks to, as you called him, the master. Let's call him the Yoda of Ohio State right now. He goes to Yoda and he says, Master, I know nothing. Teach me. And all of a sudden, you just get a different vibe. And it's not just Tressel. It's something that and I used to get on Eric all the time because Eric's response anytime I'd get down on Ryan Day was give him some time. He's learning on the job. He's learning on the, which I absolutely hate, by the way. I hate the idea that Ohio State would hire somebody to learn on the job. That just irritates me, and I hate it every time I hear it. I hate that as much as Eric hates hearing next man up or JT Barrett. I really do. But he's right. I hope he's out of the chat. I hope he didn't actually hear me admit that. He was right because I think that Day has learned and he's starting to fix those mistakes. And as he's growing as a coach, as he's learning, that swagger is coming along with him. And it's not Urban swagger. It's not Urban Meyer swagger.
It's a different
It's
swagger.
Nick Day or Ryan Day swagger.
Mm.
Swagger. Ryan Day swagger. It is Ryan Day finally feeling comfortable in his own skin, I think. He's growing into the role.
Yeah, he's not being insecure about the fact he hasn't gotten
Yes.
it done. Yeah.
And
He's
he knows as much as anybody how much pressure's on him Saturday.
100%. The boosters have let him know, like, dude, you need to win this game. You don't understand.
Yeah. He understands there is no option outside of winning this game.
Yeah.
And
There's
that's
no,
why I
"Oh,
think
shucks, we'll get him next year." No, there's none of that.
and everybody says, well, it's a rivalry game. You got to put the numbers aside. Corey, that's the other reason for this. If you look statistically, Michigan is not a good team.
Unless they play Northwestern.
You know, Northwestern's not a good team.
I know, I know. That's the only good game
But
Michigan. Ooh, dang it! Now I did it.
this, I know it's hard sometimes, but this is a team. They're averaging 23.5 points a game, and that number was significantly bolstered by that win Saturday.
Yep.
You know, this is a team that really, if you look at them, they have zero passing game, nothing. They're not going to pass the ball. The only reason they may go deep in this game is to get a penalty on Igbinosin, because you know that's going to happen.
That's definitely showing up on film.
I'm back. Are we good? Chat, are we back?
Yeah, chat. Let us know if we're back. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. Oh,
Hey,
there they are.
I was
Sorry.
teaching preschool today. Let me tell you, I could probably run off the whole song.
As long as you're not wearing the dress, we're good.
Okay, Nick says we're both back, and that is awesome. But no, like I was saying, this is a very good Michigan defense. These guys are great along the front line. I think they are going to be very susceptible in the secondary. I think Will Howard can pick these guys apart. As long as we, as a team, don't make turnovers, I think that this is a blowout. I really
Yeah.
do. I think, Ryan Day historically is not great against the spread. And I think we opened up as what, a 3 touchdown favorite, I believe.
Boy, what are we right now? I think, yeah, we're about, what, 20 right now?
Yeah, somewhere in that range. I'm telling you, I think they get this easy as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot because
Yeah.
this team is just awful.
Yeah. And
Michigan sucks.
you said it again. Oh, my goodness.
No, I said Michigan that time.
Oh, you said Michigan? Okay, we're
I
good. All right.
did.
All right. And I think beyond the Ryan Day looking to mentors is how to beat this team. I also think that another reason why we're a different vibe is adding Will Howard, and I will give him some Igbignosin, even though he's causing penalties. Getting Caleb Downs, getting these guys, Quinshon Judkins, and these guys who know how to be dogs on the field. Yes, they're great guys off the field, but they know how to be dogs on the field and bring the attitude. I think our attitude and our vibe on the team has completely changed. And I think that's also part of why you've seen, like Hinsman's the one that brings that dog vibe as well. And I think that's why you've seen like the offensive line go through some major injuries and still
Yes.
play at a high level. Is because it used to be, oh, one injury, we're screwed. We can't even, it felt like the team would just look, I love CJ, probably the greatest Buckeye quarterback ever, but he was kind of quiet. He wasn't energetic. He wasn't on the field making motions. Will Howard brings that, and we all know McCord wasn't. So we Will Howard brings that energy every time he's on the field. I think it infects the entire team, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen the team respond like Indiana game like they have like that in a long time, where they're all hyped, they're all jumping, they're all excited the whole game. And I think they all start that way, but do they end that way? Yes, they ended that way. It's a different feel to this team. And it might have to do with the fact Ryan Day had stepped back from the play calling. He's now the CEO. It's taken all year to kind of figure out how to, work on the attitude and the culture of the team. It's just changed, Chris. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely. And I mentioned it yesterday. I feel that Will Howard, I'm not saying that the style of play is exactly the same, obviously, but Will Howard has that Joey Burrow LSU feel to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that kind of confidence, just that swag about him, that air of confidence that you give me the ball, what you need to happen, I'm going to make happen. It may kill me in the process, but I'm going to make it happen. And Hinsman, like you said, I think he's another big reason for this transformation. And I look back to the game, and was it Nebraska? I think it was Nebraska
Mm-hmm.
where JT Tuimoloau was in there, and I think he got a sack, and he looked over towards the
Yeah, I
sideline,
remember
almost as
that.
if looking at the coaching staff and said, "See, you know." He just kind of said, "This is what we can do." I think that this team, the leadership on this team, is just so tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
They have a fire, and I'm a fire that I don't think it can be denied. I don't think they're willing to. At this point, I truly believe they understand losing is not an option at any point the rest of this year.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want this to end, and I love it. I love the fire. I love the passion. Like you said, it's not something we saw. I mean, CJ, very very good player, great
No, of
player,
course. Of course.
but was he the vocal leader? No,
He was reserved. He
he
wasn't.
was very reserved.
Yeah.
You looked good guy, great player, but if you wanted a vocal leader on that offense last year, it was Stover.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
but
Yeah.
now you've got Will Howard, you've got you've got Hinsman, you've got Judkins and Henderson are I think are both very good leaders. Igbuka, you know, this is a team that is just stacked with so much talent, so much skill, so much leadership
Mhm.
that I think we're finally seeing them hit their stride at the right time. And that I'm talking offensively, I'm talking defensively, definitely on special teams. If you look at what we've seen over the last 3, 4 games of special
The
teams,
It's been such a night and day difference from Parker Fleming last year.
and then coaching.
Mhm.
I think all four of these stages are hitting their stride at the same time. And you know what that's doing? That's making the 13th man get
Yes.
excited. It's making a difference. The crowd's into the game. You look at the crowd versus Nebraska versus the crowd versus Indiana. That crowd versus Indiana had passion. They had something to
Oh,
cheer
yeah.
for. But a lot of that was the product on the field, the players on the field, the way they were doing it. Um, right now, like I said, I have complete confidence. I feel like this is a slam dunk. And I know I shouldn't say that because it's a rivalry game and you throw the records out and this and that and all the old cliches, but I feel this is a slam dunk. I feel like they have revenge and redemption on their mind.
Mhm.
And I just feel like they're going to make it ugly. They want it to hurt.
And it's amazing how a newcomer like Will Howard seems to already get the rivalry. It's like it's not even just lip service for him. You can see it in his eyes and his face, and you know
Yeah.
how passionate he is that he's like, we got to beat this team. And whatever happens after that, we got to beat this team. I love seeing Jack Sawyer say, I don't care about anything else. I want to beat this team. I love hearing that from the guys. Now we need to see it, of course, but I love the fact that they're laser focused. Well, I don't care about
Yeah.
the playoffs. I don't care about the Big Ten right now. This team stands in our way. And as Urban would always say, don't let them take it from you. Don't let them take it from you.
Yes. That's right. That's right. This is yours to win. No one can take this from you. The only thing that can happen is you give it away.
Hmm.
That's the difference in these two teams right now. And
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, it's eh, I'm just pumped. My blood is just
Wish it was Saturday
I am
already.
getting so by the time you see me on Saturday morning
Hmm.
for the call of the live game watch, I am going to be crazed. I'm going to be absolutely out of my mind. Um,
We need that whole fan base to be that when they're there. I mean, look, I'll give fan base credit. They've been kind of quiet for most of the year, but that Indiana game, they were on their feet loud the whole game. They answered the call. I love the fact I hear Ross Bjork talking more about we need to get better game atmosphere. We need to talk about these noon kickoffs and get more night game. He gets it. He freaking gets it. He's going to work on it. And I think that also inspires the fan base along with the players getting pumped up on the field and having showing emotion on the field. It
yeah,
all circulates. You know, it's all connected. And the fan base seeing that they got an AD that gets it. We're not the same old, whatever, how, 1970s, traditional everything. We're going to get up to date on these things. So we need the fan base to start by getting loud, and they did that, and they're going to do it Saturday. They're going to make it deafening for the other team up north.
yeah, and I want to just touch on this real quick. Nick has had two good questions. The
Mhm.
first one was a little bit ago. He asked, what can we do about Iggy's PI calls? The only way you're going to stop that is take him off the field.
That's it. There's
Because
no.
and this is the thing. I'm not making a knock on Iggy. He is an aggressive player. He's a handsy, physical guy. That's what we have loved about him to
Mhm.
this point is his physicality. He brought a toughness and a physicality to this defense when he came along.
Mhm.
And nothing's going to change that. He is the player he is. So what happens if you see it getting out of control, if you see him getting a pass interference call, hey, yank him off the field, say, hey, listen, we've got some good backups. You can step in for a few plays, get your mind right, get your head straight, Walton, have a talk with the kid, then send him back out there to do it again. Not the PI call, but I mean send him back out there to get back in the game. That's the only way that you're going to stop Iggy from making these calls is because he's just so aggressive. He's going to get a PI call every game. Count on it. The officials are looking for his aggressiveness now. He's like the kid driving the red sports car down the road past the highway patrolman.
Thing is,
You're
I don't
going to
think he
get
knows how to
it.
cover in space. Yeah, he just
He
doesn't know how
doesn't.
to. Yeah, so that's going to be a issue for him. I think somebody said it last game. Move him to safety next year if he comes
Yeah,
back. And I'm like, yeah, that makes the most
but
sense.
then again, who are you going to move from safety? I mean, obviously Ransom's moving on, but we got some good young kids in there.
Yeah, Hartford is one. McLean's one. Yeah, we got some good ones.
So I don't know that we move the
Bonsu's the one they
safety
like
position.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. But Nick's other question is there a QB in our room that we think would be available that OSU will not miss a step from Will Howard to the next QB? No, because here's the thing. I think we've
Not
got
right
two
away, anyway. Yeah.
two good kids in Julian Sayin and Aaron Nolan who have tremendous talent, but they lack the leadership. They're freshmen.
Yeah.
Then you got a guy like Devin Brown who has the leadership ability. He says the right things. He does the right things as far as his work ethic and what he he wants to do, he doesn't have the talent necessarily to fill the shoes of Will Howard. What you've got with Will Howard is that combination of the youthful talent and the wise leader.
Mhm.
Um, Will Howard is our Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's basically what I've been
A
on
lot of
Star
Star
Wars
Wars
reference kick
references
tonight,
tonight, yeah.
but he is our Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's the wise leader, um, that still has all that youthful talent, um, and guts for days. So no, there's nobody that if Will Howard goes down, guys, I'm not going to say it would cost us the run at the national title, but it would significantly impact the chances.
Yeah, if Will Howard goes down, you just gotta hope for a storybook type thing
You
from
have to
Evan
hope for
Brown,
a
yeah.
Cardell Jones type situation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, which is like a 30 for 30 all on its own with the Cardell stuff, so it's like,
Yeah,
you gotta have to hope for something like that, and it's just not something that comes around very long or very often, so I wouldn't have my faith in it, but I'd be hopeful, of course, but Will Howard is absolutely, like he is the team right now. If he is, or he's the gears it makes everything go. I mean, he's just so he's been so good. I mean, again, I've said it a million times on this channel. He's exceeded our expectations by a mile, and
yeah.
I can't even believe how good he is, to be
He
honest.
was the guy who was brought in to be the game manager and make a few plays, and he's been this team's savior.
Yeah, he really has.
Make no mistake about it.
He's got to be the
Um,
MVP of the year so far for the
he,
offense.
he does, and I really feel it's a travesty that he is not in the Heisman conversation.
I have a theory on that. I agree with you, by the way. I totally agree with you. But I wonder if he's going to Jerry Emig and LSU media team and saying, "Don't promote me. It's about the team. I don't want to hear about myself." I could see
You
him
know
do
what? And I could see him doing that, but
because it makes no
I just
sense. He's not even in the top 10. It's like, really?
yeah, yeah. His odds are so out there. I looked at the odds today, and I can't remember it was 4,000 or 40,000 to one, something like that. There were his. It was something ridiculously stupid.
There's no quarterback in college football that's been that much better than him.
He is the best quarterback in college football all around.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say that he is the most talented. I'm not going to say he's the greatest quarter, but if you look at the whole of the product on the field
Hmm.
and the guy who impacts his team more than any other, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And there's some reason that he's not in the conversation. I just wish I knew what it was.
I
It would
think
put
part
my
of it.
mind at ease to know why. If that's what happened, if he said, "Listen, this is not my team. This is our team," um, and the awards don't matter to me. The winning does. Okay, I accept that. I respect that. I love that about you. But it just drives me nuts that no, there's not even anybody in the press screaming about it.
Because we as fans and we love the guy, we feel he deserves the recognition, obviously.
Yes.
So, and he does deserve it without question. Because you look around the nation, it's like Milrow's not better than him. It's
Oh
like
no,
Cam.
Milrow. You never know what Milrow you're going to get.
He's a
You know.
Milrow's the best running quarterback in college football. Fine,
Yeah.
uh, but he's not better than Will Howard by any stretch of the imagination. And I'll say Cam Ward has had a really nice year, but he's not having dramatically better year than Will Howard. Dylan
And
Gabriel's
what
not having a better year.
who has Cam Ward played?
A bunch of crappy ACC teams. I mean,
Yeah, he's not playing a Big Ten schedule. He's not playing, you
mm-mm,
know, three top five teams in the course of
no.
a 6 week stretch.
And
It's
winning two of them and almost winning the third one. He had us in position to win the third
yeah,
one. So,
and you better believe he's going to put us right back there again.
oh yeah,
He that's in his mind. It's in the back of his mind because he's super focused right now. But it's in the back of his mind. He wants that shot. Everybody on this team wants that shot. They want Oregon in Indy.
I actually believe they could beat Oregon by 2 touchdowns in Indy. I really do. I think they're that good. I think this team is playing that well, and they get to they get to this game, they get to Indy. I think the defense is playing on another level. I think that Knowles and the defense are out to prove themselves. I haven't seen this kind of growth from certain position groups ever in the Knowles era. Like the linebacker growth has been ridiculous. We have good linebackers again.
They're like little animals.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like they've been influenced by their coach. The defensive line and the stunting and the blitzing that's going on is getting to
Yeah,
the
where's that
quarterback and
been
getting.
for the last, you know, 4 years, 3 years?
I know. I'm with you. I don't know. It's like almost like Larry Johnson, and it's almost like Ryan Day finally sat the two down and said, "Listen, you're both grown adults getting paid stupid amounts of money to make this work. Make it work, or you're both gone, and I'll figure it out." I just wonder if
Yeah.
there's a come to Jesus meeting and they figured it out. Like we have to get to the freaking quarterback. That's not negotiable.
Yeah, and, this is the thing. Even when they're not getting all the way home, they're putting pressure on the
Oh yeah,
quarterbacks,
they're
and
getting more
sometimes
pressure than they
that is
have.
just as important.
Oh,
Jack
100%.
Sawyer lives in the backfield. He
He
lives
actually
back
the
there.
PFF grade gave him the highest win percentage for pressure in the last game. Jack's getting pressure. He may not get home all the time, but he's getting in the quarterback's grill.
And the thing is, that's getting other guys sacks, even if it's not getting
Yep.
him sacks, because it's forcing that quarterback to move the pocket, run up into Tyreek Williams, run over to the
Mhm.
other side into JT or Kenyatta or
Or
whoever's
whoever's
over there.
blitzing. Yeah.
Cody, man, Cody, I can't say enough about Cody. My gosh, he's just
What
putting together a
I
phenomenal
can't
year.
believe I didn't mention him as a leader earlier. I apologize. He's been a leader absolutely on this team. So I mean, Cody's a great example of a
I feel like
leader.
he's more a silent leader, though, in a sense.
No, he's not a verbal guy, but the fact
I
that
li
he stayed,
he's
waited
a
his
he's a
turn,
Tommy,
kept.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
a Tommy
exactly.
Eichenberg type of leader. I
Exactly.
feel like he would look at you and grunt. I do. You know? But, he just yeah, these guys are so good right now.
And they look like they're having fun playing football. That's the biggest key right there. I mean, there's
Well,
been times throughout the last several years where it's like, do they even want to be there? Do they like getting on the field playing football?
anybody who's ever played sports or competed in anything is gonna tell you always have a lot more fun when you're winning.
Oh, of course. That's good. That's
And
always true.
and you know what? These guys, I think at times I think there's been times over the course of the last few years where these guys have not felt so much like winners, but just guys who didn't lose. Whereas
That's a very good statement. I like that.
whereas this season, this time, right now, as they have come away, and again, I say this started definitely with Penn State. They feel like winners. They know they can go out there and just dominate. And I think two things that were huge happened during that Penn State game. One, the reemergence of Hinsman.
Yes.
The other, I almost feel like it was a gift for this team to go down 10-0 because the defense unleashed at that point.
Mhm.
And it's been that defense has been that way, with the exception of the first drive of every game. They have been that way ever since. They just they're dominant. And I can honestly say I feel confident that this is a defense that can go out and win you games.
Absolutely. They can win championships with this defense. This defense is elite right now.
Yeah,
They're not always elite. Don't get me wrong. In Oregon, they were not elite, but since Oregon, they've really been pretty freaking
but
good.
I want to see them versus Oregon now.
I agree.
I
Me
want to
too.
see
We
this
got to
team
get there.
versus Oregon right now. Um, the confidence they've got coming off 2 top 5 wins. The confidence they're going to have after disposing of that crap heap from Ann Arbor, on Saturday. All these things, there is just building to that confidence, building that swag for this team, and that going into Indianapolis. When you have this time Oregon traveling multiple time zones,
Yep.
you've got them coming back to what for years was Ohio State's home away from home until the losers up north decided to start cheating. That Indianapolis was the shoot. We'll call it the shoot part two. It was the shoe part two over there. You know, I'm just telling. I feel that this is a team that's not going to be denied Saturday. It's not going to be denied against the Big Ten or in the Big Ten championship, and I don't know they can be denied in the national title run.
Yeah, I would actually feel more nervous if it were at Ann Arbor this year, not because we couldn't win, just because it's like, okay, I think the team's actually getting their energy from and part of the crowd, and I think the crowd being pumped up is going to really, really help propel them forward this Saturday. Anyway, so we're winding down here a little bit, Chris, but you say you're confident
Yeah,
about the game. What do you
100%.
you have any score predictions yet, or you going to wait on that one?
I'm gonna wait it out. I want to make sure I see if any other players from the
Yeah.
cowards up north are going to sit this one out. Because we already know that Will Johnson's going to sit this one out. There has been rumors that Loveland may join him. If Loveland is out, I'm going to tell you right now, I may predict a 4 or 5 touchdown spread.
Wow. It's not impossible when they have like almost no offensive weapons besides Mullings and Edwards at once in a great while. So and
And here's
Davis.
the thing: I don't know how I feel about Iggy so much, or even Burke right now, but I think our safeties are tremendous. I think if we put Jermaine Matthews in and spell these other two guys, I think he's doing a tremendous job. I just, but I have no confidence in the team up north's quarterbacks. I almost feel like we can load an extra guy in the box and just stop that run game. If you make them one dimensional with the pass, I'm telling you, you make them one dimensional with the pass, this is going to get ugly and it's going to get ugly fast.
Yeah, I'm just hoping Davis Warren doesn't have one of those freaking storybook type games. Like, oh my gosh, this guy who everybody doubted just ended up playing the game of his life type thing. And but I don't see that happening. It's just those are always the concerns I have. Not that we're going to lose or we can't beat them. Obviously, we're much more talented and a better coach team. But it's always like, where did this Davis Warren come? Where did he come from? All of a sudden, he looks like Joe Montana out there. Uh, he's only looked good this year, really once against Northwestern, and Northwestern's a terrible team, and it was at Ann Arbor, and then Northwestern just got done getting beat up by us. It's kind of funny, all the Michigan fans up north trying to say, "Well, look, we beat
We're
Northwestern
back.
worse than
We're back.
yeah, or we beat them worse than Ohio State did." It's like, well, let's do Indiana next.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. Keep that confidence. You beat it.
Yeah,
You beat them worse than Ohio State did. You know what? Indiana beat up Nebraska much worse than Ohio State did. How'd that work out for them last weekend?
yeah. A transitive property does not exist in college football. It doesn't exist. I can't stand it. Week to week, everything is different.
Yeah. And this is a team, Corey, too. And I know we debated whether or not we were going to touch on this, but this is a team now, too, that's got maybe just a little bit more to worry about on their plates
Yeah,
because the NCAA granted them their 30-day extension on the notice of allegation. That's going to get them through the National Signing Day.
hmm
But you know what? They added more charges to the notice of allegation.
it's getting ugly. It's
And
getting ugly.
for any of the recruits that they've got who are thinking about going up there, yeah, I understand the NIL that's being thrown at you right now is absurd,
Hmm.
but I would seriously reconsider my options. Do you want to make a little bit of money now? And by a little bit, don't get me wrong. For some of these guys, it is life changing money.
Hmm.
Underwood is getting life changing money, but you're getting a little bit of life changing money now versus going somewhere where you can be developed. You can come out and be a high first round pick quarterback and make, stupid money.
Generational money. Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
get that second contract as a quarterback in the NFL. Oh my gosh, you are set for life. Your kids are set for life.
Yeah, yeah. So, jar of happiness, I would not be surprised at all with that, you know. And Troy, you also make a good point. The fact that the NOA hasn't been leaked, that the new addendums to that have not been leaked, probably does not speak well for that team up north, and that has to be weighing heavily on them. And this is a team, Corey, that you got to think that the coach is sweating just a little bit up there as well.
And he's not telling his players. Ward Manuel and Evelyn, they know what's coming down the pike, and they're not telling the players. There's no way. And they're certainly not telling recruits, but they're definitely not telling their current players right now. They're probably putting on a brave face. Nah, we're fine. We're good.
Oh, Nick, don't start that stuff because I don't even want him.
No, I don't want them. Go with what
You
we got.
had your chance, kid. You could have been a Buckeye. You decided not to do it. I don't want you. We got two great
No.
ones in the wings and a third one rolling into Columbus
Mhm.
this next year. Sorry, kid, you had your chance. We don't need you anymore.
You decided to play us, and then you played Georgia, and you went to Nebraska. What'd you expect was going to happen? Could have been playing for titles, and said you want to play for Cheez It Bowl.
Cheese it bowl.
Or as I
So
like to call it, nobody gives a crap bowl.
and I can't wait. After the season wraps up and we see where everybody's records are at, I kind of want to come on and get your thoughts on what bowl you really think everybody lands in before the bowl announcements come out.
I gotta look at the list because then they change their names every other year. It seems like.
Well, the one thing we can count on is the team that plays in the outhouse is probably going to the toilet bowl, and that's about it. But
Ye-
and that's the other thing. If you were those guys, why would you push this off and push this off? Would you not want to get this done so you could take your bowl ban starting this season when you've got a crap team?
He's pulling a Gene Smith. It's like not getting the bowl ban the year of when you have a terrible year. You got Urban Meyer coming in next year, and you say, "Hey, now we'll have the bowl ban." Yeah, I agree with you. Why wouldn't you just want to? I mean, but I think it's just going to be so much worse than a bowl ban for them. That's
Oh,
what they're worried.
this is going to be so much. I'm telling you, there's going to be vacated victories. There's
Mm,
going to be a multi-year bowl ban, and people say I'm nuts. I think that national title's going bye bye.
I would. I'll tell you one thing. There's been days that have been better in my life, but not many. And I would. I would. You couldn't even hurt my feelings that day when that happens.
Now, the only thing I was hoping is that the NCAA would have rolled out the punishment about 11:50 this Saturday.
That would
11:50 a.m. this Saturday would have been the perfect time to roll out that punishment.
then they would have an argument that the NCAA is actually just against them out to get them because I'd be like, wow, that's
Well,
just
why wouldn't they be against them, Corey?
I
All
know.
they've done is stonewall and lie and
I
cheat and avoid every possible way to cooperate with this investigation. Had they just had the guts to cooperate in the very beginning, say, "Yeah, we did it." What are they
yeah,
looking at?
that's
Maybe
fair.
a few vacated victories that first year and a slap on the wrist.
Jim Harbaugh kept giving him the middle finger, and now he's gone in the NFL, and he's in a safe space in the NFL, and Sharon Moore gets to be left with you know left with his finger in the dam there.
It is Sharon Moore the new crying Michael Jordan?
Yeah,
Is he the new crying Michael Jordan meme?
except Michael
Except
Jordan is a legend. Yeah,
except
and
Michael Jordan's a legend, and Sharon Moore's tears are actually just
they're
from
just funny.
sorrow.
They're just funny. Yeah.
They are. They're hilarious.
I love the fact it became a GIF like immediately. It was like, I'm going to use this over and over and over again. Never going to stop.
Kind of like
Every
the kid after Michigan State blocked the punt or the
Yeah,
return punt.
exactly. Surrender Cobra.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Chris, tell me what we got coming up this week.
Oh man, we got so much going on this week. We've still got Eric and I will be recording our preview for the team up north game coming up tomorrow. Now that won't be released until Thursday. So Thursday afternoon, after you're done with your turkey, when you don't want to watch the Dallas Cowboys lose another game, go ahead and pop
Man,
onto
they just
YouTube and
beat
check out.
the Commanders.
Go ahead and pop onto YouTube and it's the Commanders. They're
Commanders
like
are
that.
coming back down to earth, aren't they? Like, oh yeah, we were good
They're
for a
like that
second.
team up north. You know, but check out the video when we drop that Thursday. Wednesday night, not Thursday this week, but Wednesday night, we're going to be doing our live call-in show. I'm excited about that one because, well, for several reasons. One, it's hate week, and we get to hear you guys spew all that venom towards those turd buckets from Ann Arbor. Uh, you know, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure that you have that old credit card ready, guys, because we're going to be raising money for Second and Seven. All the super chats that night are going to go to the Second and Seven Foundation to help with youth literacy. Eric and I, of course, still doing the book drive as well. But our goal is to get $1,000 in super chats. If that happens, guys, no matter what, if you donate, you're going to be in a raffle to win an autographed item. If we reach $1,000 that night in super chats, the autographed item is going to be a 16 by 20 autographed Travion Henderson photo.
I'm still upset. I'm not getting it for free. But
Yeah, it's something that goes for about $250 in the store. So that's something that every fan should have, especially this year. Um, then of course we've got the live watch party Saturday noon. I don't know. Kind of feel like maybe a couple minutes early. Well, we don't need to start a little bit early. Why? Because Fox won't kick this thing off till sometime around 1 o'clock.
it's it's set for noon. It'll start at 1:15.
Right. So we got the watch party on Saturday. Super pumped about that. Uh, maybe Eric will even call in to us with some live updates from the shoe as he's going to be there. And let me tell you, Eric, that crowd better be loud or else I'm holding you personally responsible.
It will be his fault. I agree.
And then, of course, Sunday night, the roundtable show as we wrap up the regular season
Yeesh, I hate
and
hearing
look
that.
forward to, of course, the Big Ten championship game and the college football playoff.
Amen to that. Oh, Eric's saying he will be loud. He promises. Well, Eric, if I can hear you above everybody else, then everybody else failed. So, because that everybody
And
needs
if
to
I
hear
don't
that.
hear him above everybody else, then he failed.
That's true. So it's lose lose. Eric. It's like we can blame you for everybody else not being loud enough. We can blame you for not being loud enough. I'm sorry. That's just how it works. And them's the
Oh,
rules.
yes. Thank you, Eric. I almost forgot.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah. Buckeye boys, our buddies Devin and Mello, 6 hours live on Friday night. 6 straight hours of podcast. We are going to be on at the 9 p.m. hour, representing the OHIO podcast, but lots of great guests coming on that night. It's going to be very, very exciting. And interested to see how that night goes. Interested to see where my blood pressure's at that night. So
Take a test before you get on there. It's like, oh man, I gotta lay off the sweets this week because obviously we all want to wish you. I don't know if I'll see you until Saturday, but if I don't see you guys, I'd like to wish you all happy Thanksgiving. Have a great time with your family and friends. The time is short on this earth. Enjoy the people you care about the most and spend as much time with them as humanly possible. And then, of course, get yourself full and ready to just scream at the TV about how ugly the uniforms are for the team up north as they come onto
and
the
those
field.
stupid helmets.
The winged helmets, the Delaware helmets. They like the I think they stole them from Delaware. That's how I'm sickened to that story.
I think they went out and bought them at the Goodwill.
Yeah, that's the first how much they could find. Like, fine, take that one. Fine, forget it. So, anyway, Chris, I appreciate you being on with me tonight, man. It's
Hey, absolutely.
9 p.m. hour here, and I guess everybody it's time to hit the road and go to bed. But as always, guys, keep tuning in to the channel. They have Eric and Chris work so freaking hard. They have so many good things for you. Keep
Hey,
supporting the
don't leave
channel.
yourself out. Don't leave yourself out. You're part of
I
this
don't
mix,
work
man.
nearly as hard as you guys do. Not even close. That's why I keep telling you, hey, man, if you need a break, I'll help you out. So, but we appreciate
The
everybody.
cows don't take breaks, neither do we.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. As always, goodbye. God bless. And of course, go Bucks. OH.
Oh.